What's up guys, Uwe here. So for this video, I'll be showing you how to grease your U-joints, universal joints, driveshaft joints, or propeller shaft joints so that they won't cause noises, vibration, and prevent excessive wear. But first, I'll be showing you if your U-joints are serviceable. So for example, this one, if you look at your U-joint and you see some sort of nipple, I'm not sure if you could see it. Let's turn on the flash. So there, if your U-joint has this kind of nipple, it's called like the zerk fitting or grease fitting, then your U-joint is serviceable. On some cases, that zerk fitting will be here on the edge, or on some cases it will be here, but for this example, it's right on the middle. So I'll be showing you another universal joint that doesn't have any of this fitting. So let's get on to that car. Alright, so here's another U-joint that doesn't have that grease fitting or zerk fitting. So if you look on all sides, you won't see that kind of nipple or fitting. So even if I go, let's try to go on the other side, you won't see any kind of grease fitting or zerk fitting on that U-joint. So for this kind of U-joint, if you're already experiencing some sort of vibration or noises coming from the drive shaft, then you're gonna replace that U-joint. It's not serviceable. You're gonna take it out and replace it with a new one. Alright, so for those new into the cars or maintenance or maintaining your car, for the newbies, how do you determine if your car has U-joints? So the most common case is if your car is a front engine rear wheel drive. So that means the engine is up front, and then the power gets sent to the transmission, then to the drive shaft, and then to the rear differential and to the rear wheels. So for this case, this is a Montero Sport. It's a rear wheel drive. So you have U-joint here, another U-joint here, and then another U-joint here right after the transmission. So other cases, if you have a four-wheel drive, there will be like a transfer case here, and that will be sending power to the rear wheel and to the front wheels as well. So there will be another U-joint here going to the front differential, and then there will be another U-joint there as well. So if you have a solid axle up front for four-wheel drives, there will be another U-joint on both sides of the front tires on those areas. So just get underneath your car and make sure to look for this kind of joints. So that's how you determine if your car has U-joints. For front wheel drives, they don't have U-joints. They have constant velocity shafts or CV shafts. Alright, so what do you need in servicing or greasing up your U-joints? So first things first, you need a grease gun. The grease gun will allow us to push or fill grease into our U-joints. And then obviously you need grease. So I've already loaded up my grease gun with a high temp synthetic complex grease. If you don't know how to fill your grease guns, I have a video on that one. So just click the card on the top right or on the link on the description. So another thing that you'll be needing is rugs so that we could clean up our mess, and of course the U-joint. And then optional is a garage creeper so that you could easily get underneath your car. And then jack and jack stands if your car isn't high enough. Alright, so the first step is to jack up your car. So for this case, it's a rear wheel drive front engine. I jack it up on the rear axles and I put some jack stands to be extra safe. So of course you want to disengage your handbrake so that we could turn the drive shaft and access those grease fittings or the zerk fitting easily and put the new grease in. Alright, so once you have jacked up your car, grab your grease gun and head underneath your car and find your U-joints. For this car, there's one that comes right after the transmission, there's another one in the middle, and there's another one before the rear differential. So you should have disengaged your handbrake and then lifted your car so that we could rotate our drive shaft and we could easily access that zerk fitting or the grease fitting, just like that. Alright, so before you put your grease gun into that grease fitting, make sure to clean it off first so that we could avoid contaminating the grease that we put into the U-joint. So make sure you grab your rug and properly clean that grease fitting right over there. So once you're all good, get the tip of your grease gun and then slap it in there. You should hear that it should click, and that indicates that you're all good to go. Just like that. And then pump your grease gun. Alright, so just keep pumping grease into the U-joint and you should see the old grease coming out from all the four corners. So just like that one, the black one is the old grease and the blue one is the new grease that we're pumping into the U-joint. There, you see? The old grease are coming out from those end caps of the U-joint. Alright, so I have another round of injecting the new grease into the U-joint. So I made sure that the old grease came out on all sides, which you could see. There's a sign of grease coming out there, as well on the top and here as well, and then of course on this side. And you could see that the new grease, the color blue, is already coming out on this one. So we're all good to go. We're just gonna clean this up and wrap up our job. Alright, so time for cleanup. Just make sure to remove all of those grease so that once you go for a drive, you won't fling dirty old grease on your underneath your car as well as on your driveway. So just grab your rug, get majority of it out, and then just spray some degreaser right after, and then another last wipe to make sure everything's all clean. So yeah, we finished that one, the one that comes right after the transmission. Just don't forget to do the same on the middle one and the one that comes before the differential, right over there. Alright, so that's how we grease or service our U-joints. You should always do that at every 80,000 kilometers or so, depending on the manufacturer, the make and the model. For this one, the Montero Sport, it already ran 80,000 kilometers, so I thought of servicing it as of now. So servicing your U-joints or greasing up your U-joints is easy, doable at your garage. The only tricky part here is fitting the end of your grease gun into your grease fitting right there, and as well as the cleanup. Alright, so I hope you find the video helpful. Don't forget to like and share this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing because I have a lot of DIY videos on my channel and I'll have more in the future. So yeah, I'll see you on the next vid.